Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Myrene, your student life coach for success here in Canada. In today's video, pag-usapan natin yung journey ko as an international student and a permanent resident. I think this is the great time kasi most of you have already been planning to come here to Canada. And this time is the best time because it's October, and October is the opening for September 2023 applications. So if you're planning to come here to Canada by next year, specifically the fall or September, then it's the right time to apply para hindi kayo maubusan ng slot. Kasi if you'll apply a bit later, like let's say after 2 or 4 months, of course madami nang nakapag-apply. And we never know how much more is left. And kung sa tingin nyo ay ready na ang inyong documents, wag na kayong magdalawang isip pa, kundi mag-submit na kayo ng documents sa aming link below dahil meron tayong 50% discount for any colleges in Canada. That is for the application fee, okay? But of course, there are still some schools that does not require an application fee, and we could still help you with that. And again, letter of acceptance, getting it is your first step for your study permit journey. Alright, so let's start. With the journey that I'll be discussing, it's gonna be mostly about yung student timeline ko, my life before coming to Canada, what made me decide here, and what have happened during my studies, and of course, after my studies. And this will be probably an insight for you para makita nyo kung ma-picture nyo ba kung ano ba yung nangyayari as an international student. But of course, again, it may be different from mine, from yours, for other student, but this would just be your idea and probably could be your inspiration kasi it's really tough to come to Canada, and especially if you're on your own, you're at your young age, or probably you have family in the Philippines that you're gonna be living because you need to come here. So kapit na, kaya nyo yan. Alright, let's start. First is, what made me decide to come to Canada? I'm gonna be giving you a brief of my background. So, I was working in a good company, really good company with a high-paying job. Aside from that, I also have my own business that time with online and 2 physical store. But still, I'm at my young age that time, and I don't think so enough yung kinikita ko. Even though I'm earning a lot from my job and I also have an other extra income. So with my job before, it's kind of like we'll be sent into a different location for projects. Like, I don't want to disclose the name, but during those time, I was thinking like, ang layo ko din naman sa pamilya ko. Bakit di na lang ako mag-abroad? Mukhang kaya ko naman. So, ako kasi ang risk taker and malakas yung loob. So, I just called my dad immediately and then I told him that gusto ko mag-Canada. And he was like, are you sure? Think of it first 100 times, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, ang layo ko din naman. Feeling ko OFW din ako kasi hindi ako umuwi. So, he supported me, my parents supported me, and that's where it started. So, I've researched a lot. Actually, wala talaga akong idea. Wala pa masyadong nag-vlog before about study permit in Canada. Lahat bago sa akin, and that will be my first time to ride the plane. That will be my first time to go out of country. That is my first time of everything, and I just came here on my own. Like, wala akong nakasabay sa plane or first time ko makapunta sa airport and I don't know where to go. Hindi ko talaga alam. So, it's kind of difficult, but it have taught me a lot for my life. Yun yung reason ko kaya ako nag-Canada. And I am glad that I've made a decision like that kasi I know I can bring my family here probably in the next few years kasi I'm currently a permanent resident now. So, with regards naman sa studies, hindi ako ganun nahirapan. Ewan ko lang sa iba, pero that's for me, okay? It's gonna be different from you or for others. But for me, kaya ako hindi nahirapan kasi the way sila magpa-exam is multiple choice. Although, it would include lot of paraphrasing. But for me, yung kasi yung kind of strength ko kasi I really love reading. Kasi sa Pinas parang, di ba, it's more of memorizing, identification, yung mga ganung bagay. And here, you have an option, pero yun nga, medyo mag-iiba yung structure ng questions. Hindi siya kung anong nasa libro na words, yun din yung makikita mo sa exam. So, that's how it goes for me with regards to exam. But with regards to studying itself, they're more of into presentations. Sometimes, alam mo yun, self-study, and then books is not mandatory, but some instructor requires it. And hindi dito uso yung ipapa-photocopy mo yung libro kasi it's copyright. Sinasabi ko nga lagi, napakahigpit talaga dito compared sa Pilipinas kasi 'di ba sa Pinas pag wala kang libro, pa-xerox mo na lang. Dito it's not gonna be like that kasi you can be sued for that. So yun lang, keep in mind about it. Then there's gonna be a lot of plagiarism and referencing. Pero matutunan nyo naman yun dito kasi sa Pinas nga, hindi din naman ako nagre-reference. Like, whatever's on Google, yun lang din yung sa assignments natin and everything. But here, even the pictures or even just one sentence na galing sa internet, you need to cite it or else you get a failing grade. So, keep note of that. Sanay kasi ako na nagjo-join ng mga extracurricular activities. And I was just joining here, and I don't know, maybe they're new to it because I live in the northern part of Canada. Pero kala nila super active ko, which is mahilig lang naman talaga ako mag-join. And yeah, on my second month, they sent me to Vancouver for training for free. That's including the accommodation and flight ticket and everything. So, that motivated me kasi sa Pinas parang kahit anong effort mo, it's not enough. Like, usually, it will be given to someone na yung nanay, nag-help sa ganyan. In here, it's really your own effort. So, I kind of feel like, oh, they can see my potential, they can see my ability, they can appreciate me basically. So, after that, I've been active on everything and I've really put in effort for everything that my third month, I received my first iPad. And of course, syempre, bago pa ako nun sa Canada, na hindi naman ako sanay na binibigyan ka ng iPad kasi sa Pilipinas, hindi ka naman binibigyan ng iPad dahil lang nagbukas ka sa bank. Diba? So, I opened a bank account with RBC and during that time, may promo sila for iPad. And of course, if you'll be coming here, check it out. Every banks have different offers. Yung iba $300, yung iba AirPods, depende. And there are some requirements about it, pero madali naman siyang ma-comply. So, I got my iPad and yun yung ginamit ko sa aking pag-aaral. But of course, after some time, binigay ko din siya sa sister ko. So, supplier po ako sa Pilipinas ng Apple products ng aking pamilya. Anyway, yun siya. And another suggestion related to that is open multiple banks for yourself. Best way para makaipon kayo is to separate your spending and your savings or kung paano nyo man gustong i-manage yung pera nyo. Pero just don't do just one bank kasi pag nakikita nyo lahat yung pera nyo, you're kinda feeling like you do have so much to spend. So that's how basically it is with my first semester. I'm kinda like enjoying and, you know, grasping the culture, meeting different people. And then winter came. Winter I kinda enjoyed it because if you could see in this video, nag-join ako ng winter camping. So it's -25 I think and napakalamig, but it's fun. So winter and fall, it's kind of the same with regards to studies. And then, yung third semester ko, that's the time na parang 1.5 years na ako noon sa Canada. Or almost 2 years. And I kind of feel that time the homesickness. I didn't even thought na magkakaroon pala ako ng depression or something like that. Kaya napastop din ako mag-YouTube. Luckily, I was able to fight over it. I needed life-work balance. So I think the one that triggers it as well is, aside from the weather, which is, it's really gonna be cold here at the northern part, na-exhaust yung body ko before the third semester because of that 3 full-time jobs that I did for me to be able to get my last year semester. Or tuition fee, sorry. So, kaya yung advice ko, if you do have enough money, just bring it over here rather than forcing yourself to work so much kasi ikaw din magpi-pay off noon after a few years and I'm already feeling it right now. Kaya I have stopped doing 2 jobs. I've only sticking to 1 job and I'm just enjoying what I'm doing. So That's on my point of view, but of course we have different kind of needs, and maybe it will take few more months for you or maybe lesser, but that's just my own opinion. So it's still upon you and I do respect your decision. On my last semester, that's the time na medyo nag-heal up na, medyo may gana na ako, and I think siguro dahil magsa-summer na din, because if you don't know, like, yung sun kasi gives us vitamin D, so if in case it will be winter here, make sure you drink your vitamins. And yun yung isa sa nag-trigger din ng depression, or parang wala kang gana sa lahat. So, nung last semester ko, that is a January intake, it's still a bit it's much colder compared to December. But that time, focused to finish my studies. Yung last semester ko kasi is more of practicum and 3 courses left. Since social services worker yung program ko, there is a practicum. So, sa mga hindi may alam, yung hindi lahat ng courses or programs in Canada ay mayroon practicum. But if you do have a practicum, it's either paid or unpaid. But with the college that I went, hindi bayad yung practicum nyo. So, ang maganda sa may practicum is, after your graduation, your employer or kung saan ka nag-practicum may hire you. And that's what happened to me. But of course, not everyone does that. It depends on your performance or kung kailangan talaga din ng tao ng employer. So, I'm luckily na-hire ako ng pinag-practicuman ko. They were able to give me favors for my permanent residency for PNP application. I did that at first, but then I withdraw it after few days. Kasi I thought na my scores are good enough for express entry, and I didn't want to wait longer. Kasi mas matagal yung PNP unless you'll go for PNP express entry. Okay? Napakadaming stream. You need to research or ask for immigration consultant about it. But that's how my decision was. And then, ayun nga, biglang nag-release yung TR to PR, in which I got my permanent residency, and makikita nyo dito yung video about it. So that's how it goes for my study period time. And then after that, yun na yung life after studies, which is getting your work permit. And pag may work permit ka, you feel kind of free kasi of course you could work full-time. Nakaipon ako. I was able to buy my dad a car. And ito yung video then about dyan. I'm so happy that I was able to give it to them kasi I know they weren't expecting it. Even I myself didn't expect na I could do that. I don't want to talk about how my fast life is because it's really difficult, and I've been into a lot of hardships like at young age. So yun na nga, madali ko lang nabawi then yung whatever tuition fee I have paid, whatever expenses my parents have shared with me and my brother as well. So for my own insight, maganda yung study permit pathway if you have enough money initially. Okay? Kasi later on, mababawi nyo naman yun eh. So, it's kind of like an investment as well for yourself. But the thing is, if you're gonna be alone and hindi ka strong to be able to face different culture, tapos walang magluluto sa'yo ng breakfast, alam mo yun, walang alaga ng magulang, it's gonna be really difficult for you. But I'm glad na study permit do allow family to come here. So, swerte yung may pamilya na makakapunta dito. But, again, depende pa rin kung paano nyo i-handle yung situation. So, that's basically it on how my life was before, during, and after studies. So, I hope this have helped you to have some insights about how my life went, and maybe you can compare it. But again, it will be different for you and for me, especially I'm in a different part of Canada. So, kada provinces kasi dito sa Canada, magkakaiba ng salary, magkakaiba ng taxes and everything. So, maraming differences. Suggestion is assess yourself before coming here. Make sure you do have enough funds, especially on your first year. Hindi ko sinasuggest yung mangutang kayo unless they're willing to lend their money without any interest, or they're willing to wait for you to get it back. Kasi it's gonna be hard for you, especially if you're an international student and you're only gaining enough money for your living expenses, which is the 20 hours per week. And that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or watch my videos because I mostly share my experiences as an international student. And again, we do have 50% off for all the application fees in any colleges in Canada. We can help you apply for it, and I'll see you on my next vlog.